Hi everyone, today we're going to be learning about different types of comma usages. So first of all, there are 6 different ways to use commas. One is to separate independent clauses. An independent clause is a full sentence, but to separate the independent clauses, you need to add a fanboy. So it should be a comma plus fanboy. Fanboy is for, and, nor, but, or, and yet. For example, a correct sentence separating two independent clauses would be, she is shy, comma, yet she is not afraid to sing. So here we have the fanboy, yet, and the comma along with it. Number 2, you need to put a comma after an introductory clause. Intro clause. For example, at noon, comma, the family gathered. So the at noon here is a dependent clause, and you need introductory clause the same as a dependent clause, and you need a comma right after that. Number 3, we have series, separating the items in a series. Example, I went swimming. I went swimming, hiking, and golfing. Period. You need the comma right there, and right. Yep. So make sure you put the comma also before the and. It's a debate that there shouldn't be or should be a comma before the and, but grammatically there should be one right there. Number 4, to separate non-essential clauses. These are just phrases that you don't need for the sentence to make sense. An example would be, Mr. Sawyer, your favorite teacher, retired today. Period. And you see our commas right here. This separates this non-essential clause right here. This is non-essential because when you take it out, it reads, Mr. Sawyer retired today, and that still makes sense. So this non-essential clause must be separated by these 2 commas right here. Number 5, quotation. An example, I don't know, she said. You need the comma before the quotation mark, before it. Or you could do, she said, comma, I don't know. That is also acceptable when you put the period inside the quotation mark. This comma right before the quote. And number 6, we have dates and addresses. So for instance, we would say George or also known as the Mad Potter, the Mad Potter of Biloxi, was born in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm just going to shorten that. On July 12th, 1857. Okay, and here we have there's our two concepts that we can apply here. So this right here, these two commas, this separates this non-essential clause that we talked about earlier, because we don't need to know that he's the Mad Potter of Biloxi for this sentence to be grammatically correct. So it's just George or separate the non-essential, was born in Biloxi, comma, Mississippi, comma, on July 12th, comma, 1857. So you do need a comma between the city and state, and then here also, and then after the day right here. So we have 6 different ways to use commas to separate independent clauses, and you need a fanboy with this. And then 2, after an introductory phrase, or also known as a dependent clause. 3, a series, separate items in a series. Make sure you put the comma before the and. And then 4, non-essential clauses. 5, with quotations, you need to put them before the quotation mark, like this, and for this, whenever you're putting the quote last, you need to put the comma here before the verb. And then 6, dates and addresses.